For Reaper Metal Productions, I am Adam of Unbaptized Records, here to make a brand new video for you for today. And today we're going to do, once again, cartoons, what music I'm playing in my car. A lot more heavy and brutal stuff than last time. One less heavy, but for the most part, much more brutal than the last video. And a couple of releases I picked up from Hell's Headbangers. So go into it now. I got 7 CDs here. So the first one I was really happy that I saw released. This is one of my favorite gore grind bands. Definitely doesn't get talked about much, but I will say that Will Romer of Mortician does like them. He mentioned them in his J-Dog interview he did. So check that out if you haven't seen it. But it's the German band Plasma, and this is their comp called the Gory Days / Glory Days. It has a 99 and 2000 releases, so 3 releases altogether. Crazy, awesome, destructive gore grind from Germany. They have a really interesting voice modifier that they use, so it's pitch shifted vocals. Someone once described it as sounding like an elephant seal. It's crazy. I love it. This early stuff is super brutal. Like I said, it's got 3 releases on it. I'm not going to read the names of the releases, but if you have not heard of Plasma, this is a great place to start. I love all their albums, splits, EPs, everything they have. I own a few things by them. Definitely go pick this up if Hell still has this in stock. This is a great release. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad that they had it. And similarly, I think this is the same label that put this out. There is Mortician. So this is Brutally Mutilated, I believe. I only say that even though I know I'm wearing a Mortician shirt. I just can't read it. The way they have the black on white, it just looks really bad in my opinion, at least for trying to read it. But their first demo and an 89 rehearsal, and it came on one of these little like mini CDs that has the mini CD with the plastic around it. It has a skull on it, which is kind of cool. Glad it works on my player. I tried it in my home player and it doesn't work, but it works in my car, so that's really all that matters. It's where I listen to most of my music, as you can obviously tell by this video. But this is a great release. I also recently purchased from the record store, actually I'm down the street from, a comp of all their early stuff. It was like a double disc, came with like all their early releases and demos and the live stuff, and then they have their demo that they put out, Hell's Headbangers put out on picture disc. Obviously, it was originally the 7-inch of this, but they put it out on 12-inch picture disc. I have 2 copies of that, so huge Mortician fan. Obviously, wearing the shirt, love the music. Get to see them live, but it is what it is. I'll eventually see them, so I'm sure you're all familiar with that release if you like the band. Next is one of my favorite Australian bands, if not my favorite, with their album Opprobrium. It's Destructor from Australia. Death, I guess Black and Death, Death Thrash. Gets called a bunch of different names, but whatever it is, it's awesome. That's all I have to say for the genre. But if you don't know Destructor, go check them out. They have a new album that came out just end of last year. I pre-ordered the LP. It's still yet to come out. I think it's going to be arriving in a couple of weeks, but it was my album of the year in 2024. Opprobrium's great. I have the CD and LP. I also have the first album they did, Nailed, and a picture disc of an EP they did, and then I think a split 7-inch with Thronium, the Polish black metal band. So this is an absolutely awesome album, great band. I'm hoping that Glenn from Destructor does an interview at some point with Justin. I sent him a message over Instagram, so hopefully he ends up wanting to do it. He said he was interested. He said maybe once he gets the LPs in hand, so I'm hoping that happens. That would be awesome. Next, the only non-brutal piece of music on this list is the second album from the band Metal Church. It's the album The Dark. For whatever reason, I don't have their first album yet, but I do have this, and I think it's great. Early, heavy thrash, heavy metal, thrash metal. It's like if you know Metallica and Megadeth, but you don't know Metal Church, you don't know bands like Slaughter, and it's the next tier, second wave kind of thing. Definitely bands you should check out if you like thrash metal, heavy metal from the 80s and you don't know, but I imagine I'm preaching to the choir. Most people probably are way ahead of me on Metal Church. I already know it, I already listened to it. Been listening to it since, I don't know, early 80s when it came out, so I probably don't have to tell you about it. You already know. Self-explanatory. Next is the death metal band from Sweden, also members of the band Birdflesh. We have Entrails with the album World Inferno. Definitely not my favorite album. The first album's my favorite, the one that came out in 2010. It was actually the first LP I ever bought, which is Tales from the Morgue. I love the artwork on that. I think this album's okay. I spun it a while ago when I first picked it up. Haven't listened to it much since, so that's why I put it in the car, and I've been listening to it now. It's okay, definitely not their best work, but Entrails is a great band. I definitely recommend them if you like Swedish death metal and you haven't heard a newer Swedish death metal band from Sweden. You know, Gatecreeper exists, they're fine, whatever. I have one of their albums. It's okay, I've seen them live, but I prefer Entrails. I like them a little better. And the last two albums are both, I guess, bootlegs, pretty darn sure, but Cannibal Corpse, Create a Kill. Really doesn't need much of an intro, but if you're unaware, this is the 5th album with Chris Barnes. This is right before he left the band. He essentially recorded what would end up being the Vile album, but this is his version. A few different songs on there. Not all the songs that are on Vile are on this, and vice versa. Some of them are on both, but they have different names. Some have the same names. If you love Cannibal Corpse, early Cannibal Corpse, this is awesome. I'd say this to me is kind of tied with Vile. This is like a must-own. So if you like Cannibal Corpse and you like Chris Barnes, this is essentially the 5th album that never kind of officially came out, but I know Reek of Death put out the picture disc and LP. It's awesome. I have those. I also have this CD. Create a Kill is awesome. So if you don't own this yet, I believe Hells might still have a few copies left, but definitely grab yours because it's definitely worth it. And last but not least, we have another Cannibal Corpse release. This is a compilation of 4 of their demos from the late 80s. This is called the Tyrant Sin Demos. So a compilation of 4 demos here. One is Desecration of the Graves, 87. Let's say Chaotic Destruction, 87. Mutant Supremacy of 88. And then Cannibal Corpse, just called Demo, 1989 bonus. 16 songs altogether. Again, if you're a Cannibal Corpse fan, this is an absolutely mandatory release. I got my copy from Hells, along with the other one, as you can tell, same label, Rotting Head Records, because you can tell that they're pressed the exact same way. But if you're a Cannibal Corpse fan, these are 2 absolutely must-own. If you can still grab them from Hells, I highly recommend it. Go ahead and do that now. And then a quick little bonus before I sign off. I have 2 tapes that just saw a text message from Rob Green. I told him I'd give him these if he wanted. This is the band Denial of God. 2 different tapes here. I'm not really a big fan of Denial of God, but I know he is, and a lot of people are, which is cool. I got a yellow tape and a blue tape here. Again, I listened to both of these on CD. Wasn't really a fan. I don't know why I ended up picking up the tapes as well, but I'll probably be giving him these tapes. So if you see this Rob Green, that's what I'm doing right now, recording this video. So until next time, I'll see you later. Let me know what albums that I showed you like in the comments, what you hated, what you're going to spin next, and I'll see you in the next video.